what actually a craving is basically some microorganism in your gut which is acting up, and it really wants to like supplement itself with certain protein or certain chemicals, and therefore it makes you believe that you want it. While that's part of you, it is not you, but you have no idea where it came from, but it's there. For humans, it seems fairly okay. If I crave ice cream, I can just go buy some ice cream. Right? It works fine. For some organisms, some other species, it might even drive them to go and fall prey to another predator so that it can end up in the gut of the other predator. A craving to reach a different destination. The reason why I'm talking about this is because essentially while we think that our heads are actually thinking and making decisions, more often than not the whole body is experiencing a lot of things, and it has an intelligence of its own which comes from our evolution. 4 traits which what I learned there, four things that we do, 4 kinds of thoughts that we have broadly as a framework you can use. The first one is to look good. By that I'm not referring to like dressing up alone, but referring to any act where you want to make sure that you want to impress, but at the same time not throw yourself completely out there. Yeah, and this is a common natural trait that we've acquired for our survival. All 4 of these are part of our body's intelligence just so we can survive. For example, if there's a meeting, in today's context, if there's a meeting, then we're in the meeting. We're obviously like, I'm going to say something that is going to impress people around here. And then after 5 minutes of talking, like, Romba pesitomo. Then they'll ask us some questions. So let's not go totally out there. Back in the day, it was a lot more to do with I need to put myself out there to go get my prey. If I'm inside my cave, I'm not going to get my prey. So I have to go outside. But if I go deep into the jungle, I'll be dead. So I need to go out there, put myself out there, but not exactly completely. And that still plays out in through the body's intelligence, through your hormones and so on. The second one is the need to strive or compete. This is again very primal, very survival oriented. Back in the day, you know how it played out, but today what it looks like is, I should finish this lesson plan tonight. I can't sleep otherwise. I should do this. Any language that starts with I need to, I must, I should comes under striving or competing. And this is again subconsciously just happening. And then the third one is judging and complaining. And this is a trait again, it happens, all these 4 just like surface in our head without a second thought. And then judging and complaining really helps us, because if we complain and judge something, then we are absolved of the responsibility to take any action. So it keeps us where we are. If we actually start acting on everything that's wrong, then our likelihood of survival is actually low. We put ourselves completely out there unnecessarily, and we're like, so that's a lot of headache, and therefore we stop ourselves from doing that. And the last one is stories that we make up. For example, back in the day, the first man who walked out of the cave and saw a honeybee. A honeybee was buzzing around and probably poked someone around next to him, and that person just got stung, and so he's wailing in pain. That moment is a very complex moment for someone who didn't have language or wasn't able to actually communicate or understand what just happened. He can't really articulate what a bee is and so on. Very simple, quick story. Anything yellow and black stripes, that color he can see, is dangerous. Don't go anywhere close to it. And therefore the next time he saw a tiger, he survived. And the next time he went into a hut which had yellow and black stripes, he didn't go. He just ran away from that, because he assumed that it's danger. It helped him survive, but it also didn't let him go into the hut. Today it still plays out for us saying, I can't draw. No. There's no way I can actually do this thing. This is not in me. I can't talk in front of people. How can I come and share in front of 20 people? It's too much for me. That's not the kind of person I am. That's the language. It's almost like you are someone established by your story, and you had no control over it. The story just gave you your identity. And these are 4 things that are I mean, most of this happens in the brain. The amygdala is responsible for it partly, and the hippocampus is responsible for it partly. But this is neuroscience, which is not useful for us because, you know, everything bookish has its own saturation point. So what do we do? Right now, if I'm experiencing nervousness, or if right now you're like, what is this t-shirt he's wearing, or what's he wearing on the hand, or if your thoughts are going in a particular direction, the only thing to do is just notice. And the moment you realize that you are anywhere in these 4 boxes, the language of I must, I should, I am like this, people like this, or I need to impress, or this sucks, or this doesn't work, there's something wrong here. If you're caught in the language of any of these, then there's just a moment to notice, and the moment you notice is when you're no longer there, because you're noticing, you're not in that thought. It's not that they're bad thoughts, there's no judgment around it, because guess what, people who did not have thoughts in those boxes, they don't exist here today, they all died. And so those thoughts are really useful in survival, and that's why we even exist. Too bad that we're too stuck up in those thoughts that we're surviving most of the time than living. So that's the invitation to start living. Thank you so much.